Hello, hello, hello. I see that RVing with G is here. Okay, welcome, welcome. I was just going through with the American Wanderer, and he's having problems with his audio. So I don't know what's happening. So we're going to bring him up hopefully later. He was on in the basement, but his audio wasn't working properly. So how is it going, RVing with G? Where are you coming in from? Let me know. Let me know where you're coming in from. Well, it looks like we're the two of us, just the two of us right now. So that's okay with me. We'll be okay, and I will you came in at 2:37. Very cool, very cool. So I was a little late getting my notices out this week, so hopefully I'll get some more in here. Hi, Judy. I see you're in here right on time. Wow. Hey, Freddie Schaefer. How's it going? How's it going? On time, on time. I'm having a little problem with bringing American Wanderer up. His audio, we did a test run a few minutes ago, but his audio is not working. So although he could hear me, I could not hear him. So he's going to try and come back in, and hopefully he'll get back on. So we'll just see what happens with that. But how is everyone doing today? Where are you hailing from, Freddie? Let me know where you're coming from. It looks like American Wanderer is back on. Let's add him to stream. Hello?
Testing. Can you hear me?
I still can't hear you, JT.
I'm not sure why.
I don't know what's going on, but I know I've had several other guests and haven't had a problem with the audio. So I don't know. Let's see. Camera, mic. No.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
No.
Testing. Testing.
Well,
Testing,
you can hear him? Oh my goodness, I can't hear him. Okay, JT, say something, say hello or whatever.
Hello, this is the American Wanderer. Can anybody hear me? If you can, make a comment.
Okay, so everyone else can hear him? Oh my. Hello, can you hear him now?
Can you hear me now? Can you still hear me? Let me know, please. Thank you.
Okay. We're having some problems here with, it may be on my end then if they can hear you, but I can't hear you. I don't know what's happening.
No telling. You know how computers are.
Let's see. You guys can hold on for a minute. Let me try and see if I can. Oh my goodness. Having issues. Yes, we're having issues. Well, let me go ahead and say hello to everyone who's here.
Okay.
I've got Blue here. Hello, Blue. You can hear both of you. 3 generations. You know what? What we're going to do is I'm going to try and figure this out, but until we can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce JT, who is from the American Wanderer. I'm going to give you some information about him. Then I'm going to ask him questions, and he's going to answer. I won't be able to hear, but you all will be able to hear. Now, this is going to be a strange live, but you know, he just has so much to say in such an interesting. He's doing nomad lifestyle in such an interesting way that I really would like to share with you. So let me go, and I'm going to read some of the comments and greet some people. Then I'm going to give the introduction to JT from the American Wanderer. I see Freddie Schaefer is from Wichita Falls, Kansas. I'm sorry, Wichita Falls, Texas, just 12 miles from Oklahoma border. Okay, you can hear him too. Oh, Wolfman and Jack. Hello, Wolfman and Jack. How's it going? Your worst nightmare, loud and clear. Well, your worst nightmare, this is my worst nightmare. But anyhow, Tracy Gale, yes, you can hear. Hello, Tracy Gale. Judy can hear him. And welcome into the live, Tracy Gale. Fee Lute can hear him. 3 generations. I can hear you both all the way in Southwest Florida. I'm glad to hear that. Disky, oh boy. DJ Skype 20 020202. Okay, hello. Hi from San Francisco. Hey, you're hailing from my birth city. Hello. Seattle girl, Indiana. Now, there must be a story about that. Oh my God, I'm so glad I caught you live. I'm so glad you caught me live too, Seattle girl. Thanks for coming in. I'm vegan girl on Instagram. Do you have a IG account? I do, but I have not posted to it because I don't know how to. So that's my goal over the next couple of weeks to start getting my Instagram account. I don't know how I got one. I got one somehow, but I don't know how to use it. City dweller there. Very good. Well, with no further ado, let me introduce you to JT, which I said it's going to be weird because I can't hear him. And maybe I can make a call to someone and they can get me going. But JT has it's like a shuttle bus, right, JT?
Correct. It's a 2007 E350 15-passenger shuttle bus.
Okay. I may end up repeating some things JT says, but bear with me. Hey, when you come on a G.L.O.W live, you never know what you're going to get because you know that I am remedial and technical stuff. But JT built out you built it out yourself, JT?
Yes, I tore it all the way down to the frame and then rebuilt it all the way back up with a custom install.
Okay, great. And I know from the comments that I get a lot of you are eyeing this nomad lifestyle and you really want to do it, but many of you have expressed fear, concern that you can't do it. You don't know quite what to do or how to do it. So I thought that JT is a good example of someone who, for right now, is doing it in a way that I think might appeal to some of you. But let me go over and say hello to some people and then I'll come back. Carol Trammell says, hi, Carol. I'm Carol from Payson, Arizona. Welcome from Arizona. I was just in Arizona. Traveling Donkeys. Now that's a name. I like that name. Hi, all. I made it tonight. Welcome, Traveling Donkeys. You want to tell us a little bit about the story about that name? Because there's got to be a story there. Freddie Schaefer says, signal when he gets through answering. Yes, that's a good idea, Freddie. Signal when you get through answering. Susan Hare, Freedom to Roam, says, hello, Susan, and welcome. Lucy Ann Silva says, hello again, trying to practice my English. Oh, yes, you're from Brazil. Is that correct, Lucy Ann, from Brazil? Oh, you're doing well. You're doing great. Traveling Donkey says, hi from Southern Indiana. Hey, I used to live in Evansville. No, I'm sorry. I used to live very close to Evansville in Owensboro, Kentucky. 3 generations says, question for JT. Are you ready to sell me your rig?
Well, I'd like to. I'm thinking about it, but I've been looking at pickup truck prices for used pickups, and they're outrageous. I was going to go to a pickup and a cargo trailer, but I'm not sure yet. I'm going to have to wait and see further on in the year.
Well, I trust you got your answer there. I see Traveling Donkey said, our RV has 2 donkeys on it and it just stuck. Okay, sounds like a good idea, good plan. Dreaming Out Loud RVing says, hello, Dreaming Out Loud RVing. How's it going? Lucy Ann says, yes, I'm the Brazilian. Hey, you know what? I have wanted to make it to Brazil, and maybe one of these days I will Carnival. But JT, Wolfman and Jack says, my dogs Jack and Jill said hi from Arkansas. Hello, Jack and Jill. Hello. How's it going in Arkansas? JT has a German Shepherd, which is one of my favorite breeds of dogs. But JT, I was talking to JT earlier today on the phone. Thank goodness that we were able to communicate that way. But JT does something that I think might be an ideal way for some of you who are a little bit hesitant and afraid to get into van life. JT hails out of Wilmington, North Carolina. So what he does is, as the weather starts getting bad in Wilmington in about October, he heads out and heads into the desert and stays until about March or early April. And then when it gets better in the spring, into the spring, beginning of or the end of spring, he heads back to Wilmington and spends the time on the beach and has a sign business where he does graphics and signs. So tell us a little bit, JT, about how you started doing this nomad life on a you're kind of like a snowbird, but living it as a nomad. You want to tell a little bit about how that started and how you got involved in that? While you're doing that, I am going to step out and I'm going to see if I can't get some assistance getting the mute off. Okay. So why don't you go ahead and tell your story, JT?
All right. Well, I've lived in a sticks and bricks for quite a while, and finally decided to retire. So, and I started reading about. Well, actually, first a friend mentioned to me that I should look into it. So I started looking into it and thought it would be kind of nice to do that. I've been in the sign industry since 1974, doing hand lettering until 1993, and I bought my first computer. So now everything is computerized. So I looked at that for about a year, did a lot of research, which is what you really need to do if you're going to do this lifestyle. Do plenty of research, because some of the movies and things aren't exactly true as to what you'll actually be getting into when you get out here. Well, out in Arizona or the desert. I'm back here in Wilmington, North Carolina right now. So I started looking around and decided to go with a shuttle bus. So I looked and finally found one in McAllen, Texas, when I was down in Texas. And it's a 2007 E350 15 passenger transit. So it's made specifically for carrying people. So I had to tear out all the seats, all the flooring, to check all the frames, to put in tanks in the bottom. And basically my YouTube channel started as that, as the conversion of the shuttle bus into an RV. Now I strictly boondock. I don't go to travel parks, so I have composting toilet, I have a freshwater tank, gray tank, Murphy bed, and a Murphy table. Since it's actually a rolling office, I carry all my sign making equipment with me and do signs on the road. Oh, here she's back. I wonder if she can hear me yet. I'm not sure yet. Doesn't look like it. She's still working on it. Johnny's Journey. Hello. Met you out there in the desert. J&M Travels. Haven't seen you in a while. Can you hear me now? We're still talking? Nope. She can't hear me now. Yep, not yet. She's still
Can
working.
you all hear me again? I'm trying to see about JT, but I've called in help, but it says on here something to do about hitting a button, but I don't know what button to hit. So I'm just
somebody could private chat, or maybe she has to go into the cam and mic setup. Might be in there. Who knows? She might have the mic wrong. Might have the wrong mic picked.
So I presume JT has shared about how you started. I don't want to repeat, but I'm really what do they say? Flinging in the wind here, but we're going to make a go of it. Now, did you? Oh, let me just say hello to some other people who have come in. Hi, Johnny's Journey. Hey, hey. Well, Johnny, as you can see, somehow JT is muted, and I don't know how to unmute him. So I'm trying to figure it out. Blue says, "Well, German Shepherd, white German Shepherd here in Pennsylvania. That's kind of rare. I don't see very many white German Shepherds." Blue. JNN Travel says, "Hello, glorious life on wheels." Hey, JNN Travels, how's it going? Three generations saying hi, Johnny's Journey, and everyone's saying hello to each other. Vanderella, oh, Vanderella's in the house. Hello, Vanderella. Good to see you. I may have missed you, Kelly, while I was trying to figure this mute things out. Mo Bang for your bucks. Hey, Mo Bang, good to see you in Purple Tube. Some of my regulars. So glad to see you. Well, loud and clear. Yeah, you loud and clear me, but I cannot hear JT at all. So I'm having a hard time. Johnny's Journey, I know you can hear him, but I can't hear him. So I did something on my end. But you know what I'm going to do? I just had an idea. Maybe if I go in on my phone. Huh. I don't know why I didn't think that late earlier. Let me try going in on my phone and seeing if I can do it here. So I'm going to live. let's see.
Uh-oh, airspace. We got to keep it going now.
Broadcast studio. Now let me remove my other one.
Ooh, there we go. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now on this, so I'm going to shut this down. Or I'm going to
Okay,
move
great.
it over. I'm going to move it over there. Can you see me now?
Yes, still hear you too.
Okay, can you see two of me or just one of me?
Just one.
Oh my goodness. I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. Oh, okay. So now you shared about how you got involved in the in being a nomad. I missed some of that, but let me ask you this. Are you planning, and you may have already said this, are you planning on going full-time at some point?
Maybe that will be after HD goes, but it won't be before that because HD is 9 years old, be 10 in June 22nd.
Okay.
And he has a DM, which is degenerative myelopathy. It's a disease of the spinal cord. So right now he's losing the back use of his legs. And so I'm going to get him some wheels, and he's going to still have 4 or 5 more years to go.
Okay. Okay. I'm moving around here trying to do different things here. I'm in the basement on the other one. I'm hoping you're not getting an echo. I'm also trying to read this. Okay. Good. Now, let me ask you this. You have a sign business. Did you share about your sign business?
I told him that I started in '74 and I got the first computer in '93, and I custom built the shuttle bus specifically to carry all my equipment and supplies with me.
Now, who are some YouTubers that you've done signs or logos for?
Oh, let me see. First thing I did was created a cul-de-sac tribe decal for all of us that were in Arizona.
Oh, yeah. Do you have it handy that you can show or no?
I can bring it up in the background while I'm talking, I think. I'm going to try
Okay.
if I can remember how to do it. I use OBS for streaming software, so I'm not really good at StreamYard.
Okay. While you're doing that, let me say hello to some other folks. Van Life with Gina. Hello, Van Life with Gina. How are you? How are you doing? Gina has been such a support to so many YouTubers, shouting them out and just being a great support. I think I'm having a little bit of echo, but Fred Shaver says there will never be two of you, G.L.O.W. You broke the mold. Well, there was two of me on this show for a minute. Mo Bang says, Van Life with Gina, hey, hey. And everyone's just saying hello to everyone. Oh, say Mozo. Oh, Papa Mozo must be in the house. I was on Papa Mozo's live yesterday. Hey, Papa Mozo. Freddie Shaver says, hey, JT, will you paint my box truck signage? Hey.
Sure, Freddie, but it's not actually paint. It's automotive grade vinyl that I cut out on the computer and then install it. I've got the cul-de-sac logo. I'm going to see if I can share that screen. I'm not sure how to get there, but I'm looking. There it is, I think. Share it. Did it share?
Whoops. Here, let me see if I can add it to the stream. Can you see it?
There
So
it
that was the coldest. Now that was basically, tell everyone what that is, because I'm going to take it off in a minute, but tell everyone what that was.
Okay, what this is, I designed this logo up for the 8 or 10 of us that were in the cul-de-sac out there in the desert. So it just came up with the name Cul-de-sac Tribe, and everybody that was the originals have got this logo on their vehicle. And next year it'll be 2122.
So basically, that was a group of people who were nomads who came out together, some part-time, most full-time, who got into a little area over on long-term LTV, and were boondocking together. And you just called it the little, because you got in a circle, so you called it the cul-de-sac.
Right, because there's only one way into that specific spot and one way out, so that's a cul-de-sac.
Okay, all right. So this is an example of some of the work that you do. And now if someone wants you to do a logo for them, are a sign. You don't only do signs, you also do logos, correct?
Correct. I used to do a lot of online logo contests and made a few dollars doing that. And I designed quite a few for the Nomads this year. One was traveling down the banister. If you have his decal, it's a round decal, brown and gold, and it's very busy. I can probably bring up that new one that's on the back of his rig. If I'd known I was going to bring these up, I would have brought them, had them in the
I
background.
should have thought to say that. That's my fault, but
No, okay.
but if someone wants to reach you to have you do a logo or a decal for them, how do they reach you?
You can get me at American Wanderer USA at gmail.com. And that's my
Okay.
email address.
So let me see if I can do a banner. You know, guys know I'm not very good, but I'm going to try. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, I wasn't able to. But American Wanderer USA at gmail.com.
Correct.
Okay. And I'm not going to ask you about the prices because I guess they vary depending on how complicated it is. Is that?
Yeah. Yes, correct. Some people have an idea, some people have a sketch, and some people just want theirs updated or just changed a little bit. So it all depends on that.
Okay. And about how long does it take you to get these out?
If they have a sketch, it's usually one day. I can get them back to a couple proofs. I usually send 2 to 3 proofs of a logo or a rig design, name for your rig or something.
Okay.
I've done, I don't know how many I did this year, quite a few out there in the cul-de-sac. And everybody seemed to be happy with everything. So,
okay. And
I try to make your logo simple and easy to read and remember. Because if you have a logo that's just crammed full of stuff, people can't concentrate on one thing to remember who it is. I've got some stickers that I can look at it and still don't know really who they are. So I try nice and clean and simple.
So let me ask you, well, let me say hello to and look at the comments again. Freddie Schaefer says, hey, JT. Okay, we already talked about that. And saying hello to Papa Moso. And Van Life with Gina says, now let me ask you this. How do you think logos, well, I know how logos benefit. I don't have one. I'm talking to you about working on a logo and a sign for me, but it identifies, so whenever someone sees that, they know who it is, and it brings up to mind that channel or that creator. Would that be an accurate description of how a logo can be helpful?
Yes, because like McDonald's, they have the M. Everybody knows what McDonald's is. Burger King, they have the crown. And all that stuff. It's your personal picture for your rig or your lifestyle. I tell everybody I'm not just a sign maker or logo maker. I'm a visual communications specialist, which means I design something that's visual that communicates what you are to other people.
So it basically is projecting the image you want to project about you or what it is you're doing.
Correct. And usually you usually have a key feature. In my logo on the back of my shuttle bus, it's the mountain that comes down and goes into a wave with the sun setting behind it and somebody walking, which is the American Wanderer.
Okay. So now let me ask you this. Let's go back to talk a little bit about your part-time Nomad. So would you say that this is, because that seems like that would be just a dream come true. You have a home base, you can regroup, you can earn money to go out on the road, and you do that for a designated specific amount of time, and then you go out on the road and you're free to do what you want within your budget that you've generated. How would you explain that kind of lifestyle? What how you feel about doing it that way.
Okay, I'm retired, so I have a small Social Security coming in, so that helps. But what I do is I have a very good friend that last year had a condo, so I went there and remodeled the entire condo, and some of that is in my YouTube channel also. And this year she bought a house, and so we're very good friends, and it's a symbiotic relationship. I don't own a house,
Okay.
I don't own any property, so I come here and work on her house, putting new floors, painting, whatever. Right now, it's going to be putting in a pet door for two potbelly pigs that she has. So I'm just going to have a ramp, and so that's some of the stuff I'll be doing here, and I trade that out for a room and board. And while
Okay.
I also do signs locally, and right now I'm finishing up a sign for Three Tails RV down in Florida, which I'll send out Monday.
Okay. Well, that sounds like you're pretty busy, and it sounds like you forged out a life for yourself that really works for you.
I like it. The only problem is when you're traveling between, say, Wilmington and Arizona, it takes me, about a week to get back in the groove, and vice versa coming back here because of the time changes and the weather changes. When I was coming back from Arizona in early part of March, I stopped in Mobile, Alabama, and the humidity really hit me. It was like 60 degrees, but I was sweating like crazy because I've been out in the desert. It's been dry for 6 months.
Right, right.
So
So
it
you
takes a
have so
week to 2 weeks to get back up to speed.
so you find it does take time to acclimate to the new climate when you
Oh
go
yeah,
back and forth.
and here in Wilmington, it's humid also.
Now I'm looking here. I think somehow I stopped the comments because I'm not having any comments coming in,
Yeah, I
and
see.
I'm sure there are comments going.
I'm not sure in there how to. You may have to go into YouTube and hit live chat. I'm not sure on StreamYard. Like I say, I use OBS when I stream. So she's off trying to check on the. Oh, I think we just had some pop up here. Yeah, we did. One.
Well, I did it again. I knocked you out, but I see Three Generations says this lady sounds amazing, JT. Potbelly pigs and act a lot like our dogs. Who does
What
what
does
does
it?
JT think of them? Well, I knocked JT's sound out for me, but I am going to continue because I'm stubborn and I'm not going to stop. But I see Three Generations, and I see I've got Ronnie Braun on. Hello, Ronnie, or is it Ronnie? Ronnie, it looks like Ronnie Braun. Hello, Ronnie. And Maggie2263 is saying, just lurking, listening. Well, thanks so much. Three Generations says, please give Carol a thumbs up. Thank you very much, Three Generations. I never remember to say that. So if you could give a thumbs up and a like, I would really appreciate it. Also, I did, thanks, JT. I also want to mention that I have a video that I did earlier in the week that I think really a lot of people are going to enjoy. It's a lady named Fee. She's 63 and she's living in a minivan. She was evicted because she owned her own mobile home. And sad part is she couldn't pay after she had experienced some serious, serious health issues, including a blood clot. She was not able to pay the rent on the lot fee for her mobile home. So even though the mobile home was paid for, she had to leave it and moved on. She moved into her minivan. And I think her story, and more importantly, even than her story, I think her resilient attitude will really be striking. And I would encourage you to go over and just look at and check out Fee, if you will. But anyhow, enough commercials for my videos. Van Life with Dina is saying hello to Ronnie. And Papa Moses says, yes, that'll teach you. You were on my show last night. Now this is what you get.
Oh no.
I don't think it's a jinx from you, Papa Mosa. I really don't think it is. I think it's just me. But I'm going to go back in on my phone so that I can here, JT, and we'll see how this goes. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry, you guys, that I
Not a problem, not a problem.
Going
back to
I'm messing up here, but anyhow, am I back on here? Looks like I am. Oh no. Hold on just a second. If I can't get this straight, I'm going to have to reschedule, but I don't want to do that because JT took his time, put his time aside. So I'm going to try one more time to get on my phone again on StreamYard so that JT didn't come here, do all this, and then for nothing. And looks like I'm getting back in. Okay, I think I'm back in.
There you are.
Back in. Empty my other one so that's okay. All right. So now, is there anyone on the live that's thinking of doing nomad life or van life and just has had some fear and has any questions about nomad life? What do you think, JT? Let me ask you something. What do you think it takes to successfully live a nomad life?
Well, you've got to get rid of a lot of stuff, first of all. If you have a sticks and bricks, you've probably got about 20 times too much stuff. And that's the hardest part, is getting rid of a lot of that, either selling it, donating it, or throwing it away. And it takes a while to do that. But then you have to do research. Definitely do a lot of research. I did over a year's worth of research before I actually got out on the road.
Oh, really?
Because I still had a lot of surprises, but a lot of things that came up, I knew what to do when that happened.
Let me ask you this. What was the biggest surprise two things, two-part question. What was the biggest surprise to you when you got on the road that you didn't expect?
I didn't expect to see how bad traffic is. Traffic is terrible, drivers especially. Second thing would probably be finding places to park when you're just a boondocker. I mean, I have insurance and stuff, and I can go to some of the bigger places and hook in, but I don't go to parks and things like that.
So would you say, because with what's happened with the health scare this past year, so many people now are traveling. Every time even if I look to go to a park or go other places, everywhere, because I have, passes for state parks and also national pass, but I'm finding that so many places are booked. Are you finding that's the same with boondocking spots, that it's harder to get in places?
Well, actually, no, because in boondocking places, especially if you're out on, BLM land, you can be a quarter mile, half a mile away from anybody. You don't have to worry about it. Places like LTVA, you can still have distance if you're not in a cul-de-sac, out, spread out pretty much. On the road, I usually stop in places like Cracker Jack. Boy, that's an oldie. Cracker Barrel, and some places I'll stay at Walmart. I can stay at Camping World. I can stay at a lot of other of their affiliates because I have my card through them.
Okay. One of the places I stayed one time, well, I tend to like to stay at hotel parking lots, but then I have a van, so it's a little bit more stealth. But I don't stay at the Ritz or something like that because they tend to be a lot more strict. But I'll stay at parking lots if there's lots of open spaces. I don't stay if there's only one or two spaces because I don't want to take up. But maybe Motel 6 or Econo Lodge, those type of places. I find that it's easy to find spots and no one seems to bother you. Also, I've stayed at places that work on vehicles. Like I stayed in the parking lot once for a car audio place, where early in the morning people were coming in, getting their cars worked on audio. And I've also found out that some places in the South, And in smaller towns, the airport at the parking lots, they don't charge, or they're very, very inexpensive, like maybe only $5. So I've stayed at airport parking lots, you know, in the larger cities like, you know, San Francisco, Chicago, they're exorbitant. But in the smaller cities, especially in the South, it can be free or very low cost. So those are some of the places that I found boondocking has been easy to do. And then of course, free campsites and campendium have been helpful for me sometimes.
Yes, I
Those,
have apps for that. My worst boondocking night, I guess, was in Atlanta last year. Went to see a friend, which is a subscriber of mine in Atlanta, and I left about 10 o'clock to go, find a place. So I cranked up the GPS and went to Cracker Barrel. I got there, it wasn't there. So I went to two others, and they weren't there either. They had changed to something else. And so I about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I passed the church that had 5 shuttle buses in it. So I backed in beside one of the shuttle buses, because my shuttle bus is pretty big, bigger than a standard van, with a high top on
yeah,
it. So I just can't park on the street and certain places like that because I stick
right.
out with them, even though there's no lettering on the sides, just on the back window. But still, I'm still limited somewhat.
I see that Three Generations says, I am terrified to break down and have no place for my dogs or my dog and have to go if the vehicle is laid up for days. Have you ever had a situation like that happen to you, JT? Because
No,
you
I
have.
haven't. Knock on wood, I haven't broken down yet. But other people that I've talked to, a lot of places will let you stay in your rig while they're, you have to come out during the day while they're working on it, but they let you stay at night. A lot of places will. Um,
But there was some place I encountered one place that they I didn't have work done, but they were saying that they couldn't let people stay there because of their insurance. If they let people stay in their establishment overnight, that their insurance, and they got their insurance, anyone from the insurance came by, they would really get dinged.
yeah,
So some places,
some places will actually pull your vehicle outside, let you stay outside, and then pull it back in the morning.
oh, okay.
You
Now,
yourself.
Three Generations says airports are a great idea. And Three Generations also said Fee is a much watch. G.L.O.W does a wonderful job interviewing her. Thank you so much, Three Generations. Freddie Schaefer says, I am a little scared women alone thing, and my dog barks every time a bird passes gas. I worry about the dog being a nuisance. Do you have any suggestions about traveling with a dog since you travel with yours?
Well, my German Shepherd, in my particular shuttle, it never had a passenger door on it. It has a big window instead of a door because it had a luggage rack up front. So he has a bed up front, so he can see what's going on outside all the time, day or night. And I don't worry about him barking if somebody's walking by for two reasons. If somebody is thinking about breaking into your rig, they hear a dog, that's going to deter them quite a bit. Secondly, he's an early warning system. He tells me by a really low bark that somebody's coming up to the shuttle. So I have time to get up and look. So
Okay.
a dog is an excellent idea. Now, a cat, not so much for security, but a dog, even if it's a small dog, if they're barking, people are less likely to mess with you at all.
Three Generations says, my dog barks too, Freddie, and I have wondered if people hearing her would call the police for the knock. And I guess, if you're on long-term land, that's not an issue, or, BLM. But if you're in the city trying to be stealth, I could see where people would be concerned and might call the police if the
Yeah,
dog.
true. Probably in that situation, yes. But in Cracker Barrels and other uh, stores and things where you park, it wouldn't be a problem at all. But if you're trying to be stealthy, which again I can't with mine, but it might create a small problem. But usually, if somebody's just walking by, the dog's going to bark once or twice, and then You just flip your lights on or something, make it look like you're leaving or something.
Papa Moses says, JT and Carol, tried Chain of Lakes State Park is near my home in far northern burbs of Chicagoland. Okay, so that's another place that I have found is state parks can have very inexpensive parking,
Yes,
and
okay.
or I found some state parks also have showers that even if you're not staying there, you can access if you're going into the park. So that's one thing that I have found is with state parks too. Now, have you had any experience with state parks, JT?
No, I haven't yet. Next year, I think I'm going to for a change. Last year I went out kind of in a hurry because I was working on the shuttle and wanted to get out there before it got too late. This
Okay.
year, same thing. I'm still working on it. I've got to put the roof in, the ceiling in, and the flooring, and then it's pretty much done.
Okay,
So,
well, I'll have to do a tour of your.
and I'm gonna definitely try and get out there, some state parks.
Okay, well, we'll have to schedule a tour when you get it all done, and you can
Sure.
show us. You
And
know,
it was great meeting you out there at LTVA.
yes, I met you over at the
Yep.
cul-de-sac.
Yes, you did.
I did. I did. Now, does anyone have any other questions of JT about doing this as almost kind of like a snowbird? Any
Yeah,
questions?
pretty much.
And is anyone else in the live right now do this on a part-time basis, kind of like a snowbird, where you go out to a warmer climate and then come back to a colder climate? I'd like to hear, is there anyone else out there that's doing that? And let us know. So Papa Moses says Mound State Park in Anderson, Indiana. Okay, so there are a lot of state parks, even some city parks.
Mhm.
I've stayed at some city parks, but some of the city parks are real deserted at night and there's no one there. So as a single woman, or even with my daughter with me, sometimes as a woman traveling either alone or with my daughter, I don't like parking really out where I'm the only one. And if I needed help or someone came up, I like being somewhere, if I lay on my horn, that there might be someone who could come, it would frighten someone off because there's other people around. That's just me, how and maybe, I might one day go out in the middle of nowhere alone, but right now I'm not as comfortable doing that. How about you, JP?
Um, I'm not so worried about it because of first HD. Somebody sees a big shepherd looking out that window at him. I don't think they're going to mess around with the
Mhm.
shuttle. Plus, I have personal protection and other stuff too, so it makes a big difference.
Okay, Freddie Schaefer says, I always conceal carry, but my dog is scarier than the gun.
Sometimes,
Speaking of guns, has anyone had trouble going state to state? Laws vary, I am sure. A lot of people don't know this. I'm a former peace officer. And so certainly don't have a problem with weapons, but it can be a concern because you don't want to pick up a weapons charge because not because you were intentionally breaking the law, but because out of ignorance you travel into somewhere. I know Arizona has, I think it's open carry,
yeah.
where it's very different in California. And sometimes you might be places where you might travel, especially on the back roads, maybe into areas from one state to another and not know it, and have a serious problem. That is a concern. I don't know. Have you heard of anyone having those problems, JT?
No, I sure haven't. Because most boondockers, most nomads, they're not out there speeding. They're not out there, breaking the law. So they're
Mm-hmm.
not stopped as like someone else that might be speeding or, switching lanes crazily. Like I said, when I came back from Arizona, I just could not believe the drivers on the road when I came back. I don't know where the police were, but they were cutting people off. One guy rode me into the little lane on the right on the highway. I jammed on the
Wow.
brake, missed him, luckily. But if you're not doing anything to bring attention to yourself, you know, how is it ever going to get stopped?
Yeah. I think it's a personal decision. People just have to make, what you're comfortable with, what you're not.
Hmm.
And I think it makes a difference if you travel alone, if you travel in remote areas, if you travel with a large dog. I think all of these things, are things to consider. They're considerations. Um, Papa Moses says, it's been quite a bit since I traveled for a living. Does anyone's traveling community utilize Morse code, foghorn, or lights, flashlight? I don't. I don't know about anyone else. How about you, JT? Have you heard of anyone?
Um, People on the roads nowadays, they might give you the fickle finger of fate, but that's about it. And they don't use turn signals. They don't. They just go. When they're ready to cut in front of you, they just don't even hardly look half the time and just do it. You don't. Then they turn around and look at you like you did something wrong. And on the back of my shuttle bus, there's a picture of a little kid on a tricycle, and his hair is flowing in the wind, and there's flames coming off his tires. I'm pedaling as fast as I can, because I don't go 80 miles an hour in my shuttle. I do 60 to 65, which is the sweet spot for the best gas mileage. And
Right.
people do 80 and 90 around me.
I think Papa Mosa, people are using cell phones, are using other, Wi-Fi connections and other things like that. I think that is more what I'm seeing or experiencing, but I don't know about anyone else. But I am feeling a little bit gifty today. And Dee from Lady Bug Out, who was on my live a few weeks ago, and I did a tour of her Ford Connect, she won one of the $25 Walmart gift cards and wanted to pay it forward. So I have that gift card that I am going to give away today. So I am going to ask you all a question that if you've been here and were listening, you will have the answer to. And that is, where does JT hail from when he's not in Arizona? Where is JT's home base? So if you were listening, you get that down there. You're the first one that answer. You win the $25. Let me just say this really quick. I'm sorry, but I can't give it to someone who's out of the country because it's difficult. And how I'm going to give it is, there you are, Kimberly Garland. Kimberly Garland, Wilmington, North Carolina. Kimberly, hit me up on Glorious Life on Wheels at Gmail, and I will get that card to you. You have a choice, Kimberly. You can either, I'll mail the card to you, gift card to you, your mailing address, or I'll post it at a Walmart, and you can just go up and pick up the $25, and I'll send you the code to give when you go into Walmart. So just let me know which you're more comfortable, Kimberly. There's Susan Hare, Freedom to Roam. Hi, Susan Wilmington. You got it. But Kimberly beat you guys to it. Papa Mosa also. Kimberly says, yay. So, yeah, Kimberly got it.
She was
So,
quick.
congratulations, Kimberly. Congratulations for getting that gift card. Well, I see Papa Moses says, nice, Kimberly. Good. Good. I don't have my glasses on, so I just see nice, Kimberly. But let me ask you this, Papa Moses. Another question, not Papa Moses, I mean JT. Another question that someone recently asked me in the comments on a video that I did is, what do people plan? This is a person who's not a nomad, and they said they're watching all these people who are nomads, but what do nomads do when you can't drive anymore, when you're no longer able to drive? What is your fallback plan? What's your exit plan?
Well, for me, it was something I did previous to hitting the road. I had an aquaponics and wicking bed company where I designed and built aquaponic systems and grow 100% organic vegetables. The aquaponics use a big fish tank where you can use edible or non-edible fish, and all the
Mhm.
plants grow in rock and no dirt. Aquaponics is 95% uses 95% less water than a dirt garden. And I had a 2,000-gallon aquaponic system in a greenhouse in a garage, and I grew catfish up to about 28, 29 pounds, and grew all kinds of vegetables year round. So
Now,
we
would
go
you
back.
do this? Would you do this where you're at, where you are, if the place where you're staying at was no longer available, would you get a little off-grid homestead or buy a plot of land? What would you, and park your shuttle there? What would you do?
Yeah, I'd probably do that because I'm used to being off grid anyway. So it
Hmm.
wouldn't be a big change for me to just park it somewhere, jack it up, get it off the wheels, and just park it and live there.
Okay.
I have solar. I have battle-born batteries. I have Victron controllers, and I can also charge batteries via generator or alternator.
So your exit plan would be, in addition to starting your other business, but you would have maybe a plot of land where you would live off grid. So instead of being off grid and moving, you would be off grid on a plot of land in your shuttle bus, and you would live in your shuttle bus.
Correct, and I would still have my sign equipment with me too, so I can still do signs. I've been doing
And
again since 1974, so it's kind of mostly what I know. I guess I know conversions now since I've done one. Learned a lot on that,
so
and
you would feel comfortable. So I'm wondering if other people would also possibly live in the vehicle that they have and just live off grid, because boondocking is really off grid living, you
correct.
know.
Yeah,
So I see.
you have no amenities when you're boondocking. You have to bring it with you and take it with you.
Now, Judy says, "Yay!" Oh, saying hi and congratulations to Kimberly. I'm looking over. If I'm not looking straight ahead, it's because I'm looking over reading the comments on my computer. Freddie Schaefer says, "JT, have you run into wind currents that swerve your rig around? What tips can you share? My van box truck, 14-foot box, is close in size to your transit bus. So have you, because I know with my van sometimes I encounter wind and I'm a little scared on sometimes on some roads and pull over. What about you and your kind of shuttle bus, JT?"
Well, my shuttle bus is shaped more like your van because it has it's called a turtle top on it, so it doesn't have the
Mhm.
big bulb nose up front. So yeah, when a tractor trailer goes by or big winds, I get some on tractor trailers when they're coming to you. Just be prepared to move your steering wheel a little bit to the left because it's going to push you right. But as it passes, it's going to suck you to the right, so you have to just do the opposite. Um,
Mhm.
a box fan is going to do it more because you're pushing a lot more air, so it's going to push you around a lot more. But it's not going to push you off the road. You might move over, 2, 3 inches, but not a whole lot. And you can always slow down a little bit too when they're coming by. And that helps too. They do make a product called wind diverters that you can stick on the back side of your truck or trailer or shuttle. That's supposed to help get rid of the suction in the back, which
And where do
makes
you put those? Are they underneath the back bumper or are they up higher? Where?
they're actually up the side, across the top, and down the other side. They're little wind diverters that stick on.
Okay.
May try them next year because it helps with gas mileage also. Um,
Oh, okay.
it reduces the drag behind your vehicle, and
All
so
right. So, Freddie, do you hear that? You might try those wind diverters and also slowing down and offsetting by going to the other direction when they're pulling you to the right, going a little to the left, is what you're saying, JT?
yeah, again, it's not going to. You're not talking about feet. You're only talking about a couple, 3 inches maybe, but it's going to push you a little bit to the side. It's going to feel a lot worse than it is. But just
Okay.
keep a firm grip on the steering wheel. You don't even really have to do anything either if you don't want to. It'll just swerve back and forth a little bit. But I always try to kick a little tire into it so it's not as much.
Okay. Now, Papa Moses says, "Oh my goodness, my cousin fed me some tender lettuce." He was talking about aquatic, and he said the carrots, tomatoes were unbelievably yummy. So I presume they're really quite good. LaShawn Johnson is in saying hello. Freddie Schaefer says wind diverters are a must then. So I think I'm going to try that too, JT.
Do some research on it because there's several different types out there. Um,
Okay.
for my shuttle bus, it was around $200 for all of them, and they give you a formula to see exactly how many you need. And again, it gets rid of that the drag behind your vehicle, which makes it a little more streamlined, so you don't get the wind effect as much, and maybe a little bit better gas mileage, they say. So I'm going to try
Okay.
it next season. I keep saying next year, but it's next season, which is October. I'll be heading
Okay.
to Arizona, first week in October.
All right. So that that is something that we'll all keep an eye on and let us know how it works. By the time I do the tour of your shuttle bus, you may have them on, and so then you can tell me. Do you think you're going to have them on before you drive out to Arizona?
Yes, I'm hoping to.
Okay, then
But,
you can
but,
tell us how. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but then again, I might not have a shovel bus. I might have a truck and a cargo trailer that I'm going to revert into an RV. Maybe if I can find a decent price on a truck. Used truck prices are ridiculous right now. They're way
Well,
high for what you're getting.
anything related to RV, pulling an RV, RVs themselves, cargo vans, trailers have just gone out into orbit, the prices.
They have.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I saw someone was saying that one of those small, I forgot what it was. It was a small size of the Airstream. They got theirs, I think, before all of this happened with the health scare for about the mid 30s, 32, 33,000. Those same ones now, I was just curious. I looked up, they're selling for $47,000, $50,000. That's like 50% or more increase. That's unbelievable, you know?
Well, the ceiling and the floor in my bus, if I decide to sell it, it would be turnkey with everything except, personal items. The
Right.
solar, the batteries, everything. And so I'm still thinking about a price on it, but it would be turnkey. You throw your clothes in there, some food, and you go.
Well, let me know if you decide to, and you can do a tour and we'll let everyone know.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, well, I am closing in on an hour. Do you believe that it's an hour
You went
almost?
by
Of
quick.
course, a lot of it was me messing around trying to figure out what to do. But let me just give you a couple of announcements. The last Friday of this month, I shared either last week or the week before, a couple of weeks ago, that I'm going to be starting a Friday fireside chat. So just want to remind everyone, I'm starting a fireside chat and it will be starting the last Friday of this month. It's going to be going one Friday a month, and I think it's going to be the last Friday. For now, I'll try it that. It won't be live. It'll just be bringing up topics, sharing them, current events, some things, and tune in. It'll be posted the last Friday, and let me know what you think. If you think I should continue them, stop them, you think they're dumb, whatever you think, comment and let me know. And as usual, we'll have our cooking show this Thursday coming up, and Tuesday, of course, another out and about. But before we go, can you tell them, JT, if people want to contact you, how do they do that for signs and for logos?
Yeah, you can get me at AmericanWanderUSA@gmail.com. And I want to apologize for the noise in the background, but that is the potbelly pigs heading to the room for the evening.
Okay.
They're really loud here. If anybody has any questions about anything, they can email me at that address also. Signs, logos, banners, magnetics, anything like that, or RV, my specific RV. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have or give you any advice that you'd like.
And you also have a YouTube channel, right?
Yes, it's the American Wanderer on YouTube.
Okay.
You'll see HD sitting down, looking back at you, because I think I set up another one that I don't use anymore, and so it may be one or two out there.
Okay. And Three Generations says, yes, the price for a vehicle today is ridiculous. JT won't need your work tools when you sell me that shuttle bus.
That's true. But I carry my work tools with me. As a matter of fact, the whole shuttle bus, the entire bus I built with Ryobi battery powered tools.
Wow. Wow.
No tools at all.
Freddie Schaefer says, great tips today from you both. Knowledge is powerful. Thanks. So you're so right, Freddie. And thank you so much, JT. Sorry that, my technical skills are what they are, but thank you so much. And do stay tuned, because in the upcoming months, as we get through this summer, I am going to be meeting up again with JT and do either a tour of his shuttle bus or whatever new vehicle he's traveling around in. So thank you for the American Wanderer being here, and I'll see you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me. Everybody have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, brother.
She'll get it in a second.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe. Hello?
Yeah, you're still here.
I think I closed out of the other, I hope. And we'll see. I'm so sorry for the oh my goodness, for the crazy technical stuff.
That's not a problem. Makes the video stuff.
I'll give you a call, because I don't want to be continuing to talk on here with an open mic, as they say. But thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and hopefully one of these days I'll become more technically proficient.
Not a problem. You have a good night.
I'll talk to you a little later. Bye-bye.
Bye.